All right, ladies and gents, my name is George. Hope you're still awake. It's that time of the afternoon where the food coma kicks in. To the modern day communications platform. How many of you have a telephone system that is still a physical box within your site? I'd say most of the room. Okay? Well, no longer is communications a box. Okay? You know, obviously, over time, from when telephone was first discovered, or invented, I guess is the word, until today, things have changed. That box is no longer needed. And the reason it's no longer needed is because today, communications is an app, right? It's software. There's no longer need for a box on the wall, boards, physical devices, other than if you want one, right? And when I say physical devices, I'm talking about if you want a desk phone, then you can choose a desk phone, that's fine, but you're not forced to communicate with that device, because traditionally that's been the way that you've had to communicate, right? We're in an app-driven world. No longer do you need a server on site to store your data. No longer does your email need to be a machine on the floor. Everything is going to an app-driven world, and communications has exactly gone that way. So effectively, what is today's technology telling us? Proprietary technology is no longer being tolerated. You going to a vendor and them saying, here are your options, and this is what we offer, and if you go with us, then you'll only ever be able to exist with what we give you, is no longer an option. Choice is the option. Being able to dictate what you want rather than, and choosing the direction your company needs to go versus being dictated to is what the market's telling us, right? Flexibility, integration to your other systems, right? Your ERP systems and your CRM systems and your file sync and share systems and all the other things, right? The market has definitely consolidated. I don't know, this is kind of recent news. Who's here has heard the words Mitel or Polycom? So did you know Mitel just bought Polycom today? It's now one company. There is no more alone. Did you know Mitel bought Astra? Okay? The market is consolidated. And here's the reason why. There are more non-proprietary systems being deployed over the last 10 years than proprietary systems. Proprietary systems are those boxes that you have. Nobody is buying that way anymore because the market is shifting to a flexibility, app-driven economy. Okay? So at the end of the day, what should a software-based solution look like? Let me show you. All of the features that you want in the past were bolt-ons, right? I was talking to somebody earlier saying, hey, the voicemail system versus the phone system versus this system versus that system. There is no more, the bolt-on is gone, right? It's unifying everything into a single app, right? Whether that's phone, whether that's voicemail, whether that's CRM, whether that's email, whether that's reporting, whether that's ring groups, call queues, and call center type features, whether that's the apps for your Microsoft, Apple, iOS, Android, Windows smartphones. It's all now unified into one delivery method instead of bolt-ons. Right? Bolt-ons is where things used to be, and combined solution into one system is where it's at now. Right? Now, of course, by that happening, we can do more. Right? We're in a data-driven world. Data is king, right? And being able to integrate into the systems that you use on a day-to-day basis is where the market's going. And what does it have to do with voice? Well, ultimately, because everything here is software, we can then turn around and tie into other software. So today, if somebody calls our office, a little widget pops up and looks to see if you've ever called us before. Now, that system is not, it's going into a CRM system, right? It's saying, does this person exist? If so, here's all their information. So that by the time I pick up your phone, I know who you are, I know when you last called, I know who talked to you last, I know if we've ever proposed something to you, I know if you've checked our LinkedIn, I know if you've hit our Twitter account, I know if you've been on our webpage, all in one place. But I didn't have to go looking for that, it was presented to me. Why? Because the phone system knows who you are, because of where you're calling from, and your caller ID, right? I was able to get that integration connected, and so now I'm smarter when I answer the phone. And I'm spending less time interacting with you, trying to get this information, and more time trying to help you get to where you're trying to go, right? This is where the technology is going. It's not just a phone ringing on a desk anymore. And yes, it will do that. And it'll transfer, and it'll hold, and it'll conference, and it'll do web meetings, and it'll do faxes, and it'll do, apps, right? But it's now taking things a step further and saying, I'm a smarter business person, I'm a smarter organization, and I want to use technology to automate my world. That's the story. That's where things are today. So ultimately, being able to administer the phone system and how to configure things is no longer this antiquated system. It's a web page, right? You go into your email online through a web page. You go into your instant messaging online through a web page. You go through your portals for your bank online through a web page. Well, the phone system is just a web page. You go in, you log in, you make a change. If you've seen any Windows, Mac, Android, iOS-enabled device, you can go in and administer the phone system. It is not that hard. But the cool part about that is that because everything is app-driven, I don't care whether you're using a Windows machine, a Mac, an Android, an iPhone, a Windows Mobile. However I choose to interact with the phone system is my choice. It's preference. Do I want a desk phone or not? Do I want an app on my screen? Or not? Maximum mobility is the key. I don't have to be at the office. I can be anywhere on the planet, and as long as I'm connected, what does that mean? Do I have internet? Do I have 4G? Am I at home? As long as I'm connected to the net, somehow, some way, that's where my phone is. That's where my extension is. It's flexibility, right? And of course, back to the independence. I can pick whatever mix of devices I want. I'm not coming to you saying, here's a phone, it has George's face as the logo, you have to buy this one. I don't care where that phone comes from. If it's an open-ended phone and it's not proprietary and that's the phone that you like, then that's the phone you can pick up. And that's the paging adapter you can pick up. And that's the door, the front door system when you go into the lobby that you can pick up. And it's a numerous amount of devices. These are just a few of the options, right? It's just choice, right? And of course, the phone system has progressed past phones. Within the next 10 years, or actually less than that, because this study came out in 2015, within less than the next 10 years, 60% of the interactions that are going to happen are going to be by video. Right? I know this is like Star Trek-y a little bit, but instead of somebody picking up the phone, they're going to see you 60% of the time. Whether that's you calling in to your physician, whether that's you calling in to get a proposal, whether that's you calling in to schedule an appointment. That whole Amazon commercial that you see where you go to hit the Mayday button and a person pops up on your screen, that is the way things are going. And being able to have a system that's capable of that is important. Not as a bolt-on, but as part of the same platform. Again, hitting, for the last time, integration, integration, integration. It's all about automating into your existing systems, and if the system that you have is incapable of doing so, then you're missing an entire world of possibilities. And of course, if you have a system that's custom and is able to be integrated with, it can be written. Of course, everything has a cost, but if it's possible, a little bit of money goes a long way into automating your world, because time is money. I know it's cliche, but you're never going to get it back, and doing more with less time is always the goal. So, as far as companies that you may recognize that have deployed a system such as the one that we're talking about, some pretty recognizable names. You got, Remax brand, Pepsi, Holiday Inn Express, American Express, etc. The big companies are no longer the only ones doing this though. You always put up recognizable names just so that you know this is for real, but now the price point is so aggressive that you can get that same functionality that the guys that have multiple millions of dollars to have at a price point that's totally affordable. Anyway, that's the story. It's really just a possibilities presentation to help you understand that the modern days communication platform is not anything like what you've had or still have. Any questions? All right, I probably was under time.